I couldn't save him. And he died later at the hospital.
New at 11, the suicide of a Carmel High School student is raising questions about how schools investigate serious incidents. Patrick McCalley would have graduated next year.
And for the first time, his parents are sharing their story with RTV6's Rafael Sanchez, hoping it will save lives.
Patrick McCalley was in his world, a member of his high school marching band. He played the saxophone.
He could light up a room with his smile and wore it all day.
He was just wonderful kid to be around.
He was fascinated with airplanes, and his grandfather, who was a World War II veteran, enlisting in the Air Force was a dream. It was among the many things he was thinking about on October 6th, 2016.
I said, "Are you leaving, Patrick?" He said, "Yep, I love you, Mom." I said, "I love you too, buddy." He walked out that door like he'd done every day of his life.
Yeah.
In high school.
At school on that day, Patrick got in trouble. A social media message on Snapchat he had sent days ago became public. It showed a noose on an African-American classmate. Carmel High School administrators stepped in. The McCaulleys say they were called around 2:30 to alert them of the situation. At the time, they had no idea an administrator had questioned Patrick and asked him to provide a statement. In writing, Patrick took responsibility, calling the Snapchat horrible, hoping the incident would not define him or Carmel. His parents troubled. They were not in the room, especially since what he was asked to sign sounded more like a legal document, an affidavit, which threatened penalties for perjury if his statement wasn't true.
We should have been called as soon as he admitted it. We should have been involved.
Patrick drove home. When he arrived, he attempted to take his life.
I couldn't save him. And he died later at the hospital.
The hospital returned the rosary found in his right hand.
This cannot happen to another family.
It's taken the McCaulleys 2 years to publicly tell Patrick's story. They're now looking to their son's school to make changes on how the district questions students facing punishment and how parents are included in those discussions.
I'm a teacher. We tell parents all the time what makes school successful is parent involvement. Well, that doesn't mean just parent involvement when everything's going great. That means parent involvement when your child needs you. Patrick was not afforded that.
Another parent whose son was facing discipline in a separate issue also wants to see changes.
If my son or another kid is going to possibly be suspended, that they should have a right to withhold their statement until a parent is present.
The McCaulleys remember Patrick all the time. And when they display the quilt with all of his jerseys, including the green hoodie.
Anybody who knew Patrick saw him in this.
He often wore. Or when they hear a Kanye West or a Frank Sinatra song. Now they want to honor Patrick by making sure kids are with an advocate, a parent, or a guardian when being questioned by school administrators.
What we would like is cooperation and collaboration to look at policies, to look at how this was handled, so it's changed so it doesn't happen to another family.
So keep this in mind. If your child is called to the principal or superintendent's office, state law gives schools the authority to supervise and discipline students. But when it comes to questioning them, the law is silent on whether the questioning should be recorded by audio or video, or whether parents should be in the room. Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
And Carmel superintendent had a private meeting with the parents where they shared their concerns. Suicide is among the leading cause of death in Indiana. If you or someone you know needs help, the number to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-8255. That free line is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.